I am going to call this meeting to order. Is there a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Burgess,
Here.
Trustee Young,
Here.
Supervisor Deborah,
I am here.
Clerk Sue.
We have a quorum. We can proceed. Let's stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, there's Terry. Okay, let's look at the minutes. Scheduled meeting of November 20th. And anybody have any corrections or additions?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
And I think it might be my mistake.
What's that?
On page
Okay, all right.
3 or 4,
3 or 5?
3 or 4.
3 or 4?
Now
No,
you're
let's go
looking
back
at-
4 or
no,
5. I'm sorry. Let's go back 4 or 5.
That was Rory's, he's on his way.
Yes,
4 or 5? Okay.
yes, 4 or 5. The last paragraph, it should read National Youth Project, utilizing mini bikes. And I think-
Project?
Yeah, projects, take program out, put project, take motorbikes out, put mini bikes.
Minimum. Oh,
Mini
okay.
bikes. I think that was my mistake because I had been referring to it as such until I was reading through some of the material and I realized I made a mistake.
So it should be project.
Yeah, it should
instead
read,
of program.
yeah, it should read National Youth Project utilizing mini bikes.
Minimum.
Okay. Anybody see anything else? Hello? Marty? Anything else? All right, going once, going twice. Is there a motion to approve the minutes as corrected? Moved by Debbie, second by Terry. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bowles,
Yes.
Trustee Burgess,
Yes.
Trustee Young,
Yes.
Supervisor Deborah.
Yes. Public comments? Okay, supervisor's report. General assistance report. We spent $2,018 on GA and EA. We had 5 on general assistance. The general assistance amount was $1,343. Emergency assistance, $675. We have 15 that came in for pantry, which is something that seems to have picked up lower than last week. Month, I think, was 20, so that has gone down a little bit. But there were 14 intakes, 9 applications, 0 flat grants, 0 other aid, 15 pantries, 2 were denied, 5 are pending, 0 were terminated. The senior committee, we had our December brunch, which went very, very nicely, and it was at the University Park Golf Course. And I'll start the pictures down this way, and we had some pictures taken. I think everybody had a great time, and the committee, as usual, does a good time. And Dorothy was there, so she, she had a good time too.
And
so
I got to sit at the head table.
Right, we had a the entertainment this year was the same guy as last year, but he was so good, and everybody loves them, so he may be back next year, but it's the senior committee that handles getting the entertainment, so, that they do such a good job of doing that. Our next event for them is Valentine's Day lunch, which is gonna be February 11th, and that will be here at the township, and, that's it. We have a little bit of correspondence that just was put on your table tonight. It's from the Ileana Corridor Study. They're basically saying that they finished the tier, the completion of the environmental planning phase. And so now they're going on to the next study. And it says they'll be communicating the next step, but they're just thanking for all our valuable input. So that's about it. Our Thanksgiving, now this is just a brief report because we will have a formal holiday report come January probably. But for Thanksgiving, we gave out 90 Thanksgiving baskets to 90 families, and varying sizes. And you know, the smaller the family, you got a smaller basket. The bigger the family, you got a bigger basket. So, and a bigger gift certificate to buy a turkey or ham or whatever. And then for Christmas, we are 108 families have signed up. We've only got about 8 to 10 left that haven't picked up yet. And in those, we, you know, give everybody, every adult gets a wrapped gift, and every child that was 12 and under got 3 gifts. So it's a huge project. I can tell you one thing, that I've wrapped every one of those things, so it's a huge project.
Office looks much different.
And then we had a young man come in we had food everywhere, so the food's been picked up, the toys are back upstairs. We now, you know, so we'll do the finishing touches of that tomorrow with our one little guy, so that's a good thing. Okay, and this is the pictures that were the senior party, pass it down that way. Clerk's report.
I followed the levy from the township in the road district along the truth and taxation on December 5th, as well as following the list of our person that need to require to file a statement of economic interest.
So they can send us all letters on that, right?
Yes. Those are only two things I have.
Okay. Highway Commissioner, David.
We spent a month picking up a lot of food.
And yes,
Yep.
yes.
And of course, there's no snow, so we didn't have any plowing to do, so it all worked out. I had a representative from Aqua Water come in here. They want to bring a pipeline up here with water for the University Park from Mantina. The original plans were to go down Well Center Road, and they were going to buy right away from private people. But then they changed, and then now they want to come up Egyptian Trail. And when they get to Offner, of course, that's where I come involved. He talked to me about the plan. I said, well, I don't know how you're going to, you got to buy all the frontage from these little people, from these people with their, you know, lots and their trees and everything. Well, no, we weren't thinking about that. We were thinking about going on your right away. And I says, oh. I said, I'll have to do some thinking. I'll have to do some thinking and some talking to the board about that deal before we can, you know, commit anything on that. So I'm going to contact the lower, the Will Township, and see what they're doing.
What type of problems would that entail?
Well, it'd be a mess. I told him, I said, if you do that, you're going to have to replace the whole road, which is going to cost them quite a bit of money. And if they go in a ditch, I mean, it'd be a mess. It's wherever they dig, because they're going to dig down 5 feet,
Ooh.
put in a 24-inch water main. It's going to go up here to it's on Central Avenue where they got their water thing.
Okay, so now, but if they're using the right of way, then why would it affect them having to rebuild the whole road?
There's not either that or they got to go in a ditch.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
and the ditch is not ours, or it is?
The ditch is ours, but I hate to have them go in there and tear that all up.
Okay,
And then there's places where there's bridges. You know, I'd have to see what they're going to plan about doing that.
okay.
If they're going to go underneath the creek, which they probably will. They'll have to do boring, because I don't want them to tear bridges up and culverts and stuff. So I'll have to do more looking into that. We're going to do some more.
So Dave, why are they stretching it? I mean, why are they doing the work at all?
Well, this has been talked about for quite a number of years. They want to bring Kankakee water up here to
Oh,
UP.
Aqua.
Aqua.
So that's why they gotta put it into the line.
They're going to put it in the Yep. It's been in the paper. This is
Yeah, I remember the discussion, but I just didn't know why they were doing it.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Bringing the Kankakee water.
I think so, yeah. Yeah. Water from south, I don't know where they get it otherwise. You know, they say Mantino.
So this is, UP is involved with this,
I have no idea.
No, it's Aqua, Illinois,
No, I don't think
because
so.
unless they're trying to bring in lines that are already existing So they're trying to route it from UP here.
So where's UP getting this water from now?
We get ours from Aqua.
Well,
Oh, well, see, that doesn't make sense. You're gonna go to get Kankakee water as opposed to the well water, as opposed to trying to get Chicago water, which is all the way up
Impossible.
to Chicago Heights, I believe. So
That-
that
that-
short distance,
That takes, that Lake Michigan water, that you gotta apply for that, and Wisconsin and all of the surrounding states vote on that, if they'll let you take water out.
Kankakee water.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
I'd like to say something, because I was kind of involved with the utility committee in University Park, and when they had discussed this, so they discussed this years and years ago, they were talking about getting a better quality of water. You know, well water has high dissolved solids.
Oh,
And-
yeah,
and
I
so-
agree with that.
And so they were talking about getting better quality of water, and they were saying that the Kankakee group of water was, you know, just as good as the water from Chicago. So they had, and Aqua was located down there, so.
Well,
Yeah. Aqua's located down in Kankakee.
And it was supposed to be much cheaper to route this way than getting the Chicago water too.
so are they coming, you say Wolf Center? Did you say
That's the
Wolf?
Egyptian Trail now,
Oh, Egyptian Trail.
yeah, all the way down south. They're coming up, right up through the airport land and everything.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's David's right away, so you'll have.
Yeah, we'll have to do some, I'll have to do some, I gotta do
Decisions
some
on
more,
this.
I gotta do some more investigation.
Okay,
Last thing is that the new truck has arrived.
I looked at it. Chris.
Yeah, we got it in the back there. A few things we gotta add on that we want to make it more personal. And that's what the process we are now. So it's here, looks nice, and hopefully we don't need to use it, but it probably will.
And has plows on ready and a side
Yep.
plow?
It's got two plows, one plow, it's got a wing plow on it where you can push the snow off another 4 or 5 feet.
And knock down main lots.
It's in the garage.
Yeah, it's back there. So, you're more welcome to go back and look at
Okay,
it after the meeting.
thank you.
That's it.
What I forgot to say when I was talking about our Thanksgiving and Christmas was that David and his crew have just gone over and above board by picking up Toys for Tots and Joliet and picking up at the schools and plants and all kinds of places that have donated foods and toys. So that's been a real help to us, David. Thank you so much. And every year they do it, so
It's
it's
a
really
joy.
great. And then, of course, thank you for Willa for, keeping everything nicely organized and so we can get, as we gave out most of it today. So it's been a good program.
And thank the supervisor, because if she had not been here, I've been here midnight working all week.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm here. Since 2
Yeah, you
weeks
did.
before Thanksgiving, I've been here just about every day.
Yes,
Packing, sorting, yeah, I got bruises.
Yeah, she was a big help,
She followed the company.
big help.
Yeah,
I told you she couldn't.
unfortunately, I'm under the insurance, I can't file anything. Okay, Cesar is not here, so anything, Joe? for-
Nothing new.
Okay, no plans for adjournment. Okay, Lou Grundy Clinic, and there's a new thing on the table from them where we had asked them for their budget for their, list of people served in our township. And, last, in 8/30/2013, we gave them $2,000. They do a lot, and if you can kind of read through, this is a summary basically of what they have done for Monee Township. And 39 physician visits. This is who they work with, 39 physicians, nurses, dentists, dental hygienists. They have clerical and personnel support. The referral doctors volunteered to accept Will County, recorded 10,013 patient visits. It said clinic patient surgeries were performed by volunteer specialists. The value of surgery estimated at $84,000. So the nice thing about the Will Grundy is that they go out and they get the free services of these doctors and dentalists and dental hygienists and all these people, and then they can, so we can send our people over there to have this taken care of, and it doesn't cost them a lot, and it's really a great program for them. And then it was 3,000 something in dental, pharmacist, and 1,146 value prescription assistance for clinic patients that exceeded 735,000. And now this is what they're saying was what were used by, Monee Township, because according to their cover letter, they had said that, this is the breakdown of what they've used for us. So anyway, I would like to suggest that we go ahead, because they do so much for us, and we send we send our people over there. If there's any problems, they need pills, they need anything. Otherwise, because we do have to, we end up paying for pills and medication out of our own pockets if it's something that's not covered, or they go to a pharmacy that's, not a Will Grundy medical. So, which we tell them they can't do, but then they sometimes do anyway. So I'd really like to see us go back and do another $2,000 for this period.
So what exactly have they done for Monee?
This is what they're saying they've done for Monee. That was what their cover letter had said came
this
through.
year?
Yeah.
In the spreadsheet?
No, the spreadsheet is their budget. We always ask for people's
So
budgets.
this is
Right.
front sheet.
Is this the same thing we did last year?
Yeah, we gave them 2,000 last year, and I'm suggesting that we do it again. Yeah, they really do save us a lot, right? And they help so many people.
I moved that we approve the $2,000 to Will Grundy Medical Clinic upon completion of the social service agreement.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
By Terry. Is there any other discussion? Roll call vote then.
Trustee Rose,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Burgess,
Yes.
trustee Young,
Yes.
supervisor Zimmer.
Yes. By law, we have to publish a notice of our township public meetings. And so you have in your packet a list of the holidays and also our regular meetings. And so I need a motion to pass this so that we can have it published. And I think, Bobby, you have to publish it too, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, Bobby publishes it, and so that we are in compliance.
We have the holidays, why do we have the last day on this one here?
Well, I think we just do it so that people can see it for the whole year. You've got 2015 and it goes to 2016, but it's,
Well, I wish I had these holidays.
I've always said that. I've always said that.
Do we get the start of the baseball year?
I have always said that.
Don't mess with
I
me.
know, when I look at this, I like, okay. I said, no, I'll leave it alone. This
Yeah,
is
but
beyond me.
we work really so hard.
I know, that's what I
To have these days off.
I started to put New Year's Day, January 1st, 2017 on here.
Is there a motion to approve the notice of township meetings?
So moved.
Moved by Maurice. Second? Second by Debbie. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Rose,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Burgess,
Yes.
trustee Young,
Yes.
supervisor Zimmer.
Yes. Okay, we have from the intergovernmental agreement with the County of Will and Monee for participating in the mobility management project. And I believe that it's the same verbiage as last time. The dates are as of, because it was when the the first day of October, because they have to go back for the RT agreement and show that I think the 30th of September or something was the date of the last, or that was when we first did it, the agreement from last year, and will run through 10/31/2015. And that way, we'll have the full year, since we actually started service November 1st. That takes us up to the 10/31 of next year, so then we'll all be back in sync again. And it's basically the same thing that we did. Isn't that, did you get a chance to kind of compare them? I kind of read through it.
Yeah, I did, and, it appeared to be pretty much the same
Right.
as the last one. It has a provision, I know this was the question last time, was whether we can get out of the agreement.
I think it did, we did, yeah.
90 days.
Right.
It has a 60-day prior notice requirement. It requires little of the Monee. And the only provision here which inflicts any liability on Monee is if you look at 6.0, which is the indemnification provision, which is not an unusual provision, that if any loss, damage, destruction, injury, or death occurs to any person or property during the course of sponsor, which is us, performance of its obligations under this agreement, sponsor, which is Monee, agrees to indemnify and hold harmless the county, its officers, officials, employees, agents for any losses, so long as it's not caused by the county, which is not an unusual, not an unusual provision. I guess I would just say to make sure that our insurance carrier is aware of the agreement.
Right.
So
Well, they were last time, and they were fine with it, that was
Okay, so-
right.
so they know.
Right, and I like it because really it doesn't, the indemnification clause doesn't really mean anything because, anybody, if there was a problem, could sue them anyway. And, and it probably would hold up. Now, what else you got in there was just the Exhibit A, which was the agreement, that is the agreement between Will County and the PACE system. So that's just their addendum A for that, so.
Now, I looked at the two rates on the back of the page, there, page 8, just on the back there. I think it's throughout. This rate is stated a couple times, I guess.
$2 and $4.
$2 for a flat rate one way, and $4 flat rate.
The difference is $2 if you're within the township and $4 if you're going without the township.
Right.
$4 each
And
way.
when I looked at the actual riders, where they were going, it looks like the majority of the riders are going outside
Yes.
of the township.
They are.
So, going back to these rates, what are we paying now roughly per ride, one way?
Right now, because of Frankfurt coming online, they added extra people. Our rate went from $50 down to 38 points, almost $39. And then that's $39. Now, we pay half of that amount. We pay 19 something, right? With the RTA agreement. And so.
That's per person?
Yes, it's per person.
So now we're talking about going from $19 roughly,
That's
the
one
cost
way.
per trip. It says
Right,
cost
one
per
way.
trip,
So if somebody they defray $4, so we're still, that's still $15 we're paying for every trip.
Okay, so.
$15, $16.
Okay, that's why I was a little confused. So
Right.
this $4 is what we'll pay?
Out of that 19.
Out of the 19.
So, right, and so that they pay 4, so we're paying about, well, actually it's almost 20, so we're paying about, just about
So
6
$16.
each way. And not only is that, it's very expensive, but that's because Frankfurt came. Frankfurt is not happy with the $19,000 cost. They run their own PACE system, they run their own system prior to coming into here, and they say that they were able to do it for $15 a ride or less. So what we're doing now at our last meeting that we had a week ago in Joliet is that the Frankfurt, Jim Mustus, who's the Frankfurt supervisor, suggested that we try to contact the villages within our townships and see if we can't get them to also contribute. So we're going to be setting up meetings in the new year. Yeah, we're going to be setting up meetings in the new year to go to Farcourt and to Mayor Covington in University Park, and also, who's in Farcourt? Oxfield, Oxford? Okay.
But this is a tremendous service, and
It
the
is.
majority of our riders are within the village boundaries. Is that a fair statement?
Pretty much, yeah. So, but what they're supposed to do out of Wendy, and they're supposed to isolate and tell us, how many riders have been riding, from each one of those villages.
Okay.
So that when we meet, we can sit there and talk and have out numbers. And so we're trying now to find a date to set up with people. And so far, we haven't been able to find a convenient date for everybody, so it's.
Well, I'm trying to get my hands on.
Well,
Since my memory recall, I don't know if you could probably state or Deb can back me up on this. When we have the services provided by Eastern Will County, I thought we were paid somewhere around $6. All right.
They never gave us a ride figure.
Really?
No, I mean, because they had money from several different places. They did that. But we didn't really pay anything. It was a donation part on our
It was
part.
like
That we end up, 10,000, usually by the end of the year, we paid them 20,000. So, I mean, it was cheaper because they were doing a lot of other things. But then they
I've
were.
been trying to see
they
where
were-
we are, where we budgeted. Now, what am I?
Right now, we're budgeted at 50,000. This next budget, I probably will have to raise it to at least 60,000, if not 65, to help cover it. But it is a needed program, and it's something that, we're gonna have to try to bite the bullet with, and,
That is a number I recall
Right.
too, because when they compare the township, Monee Township, Creek Township, Washington Township, and Creek was on the top as far as how much they were dishing out. I think that was like $48,000 back then. This is a few years back. And I think we were at the 25,000 roughly in Washington.
25, yeah. It was cheaper with Washington. When you're doing van pools, you can run a cheaper program. The problem is that it's not a consistent program, which was one of the reasons that because they couldn't get the funding right, because they couldn't get the reporting right, so they could get the RTA grant money. And then the problem came is that they never seemed to get the billing right on anything, and it just became a problem. And then the biggest problem was that every 4 years there's an election of officials. And when Bob Howard was running the Washington Township program, it was great because he was the one that initiated the busing program, and then we had a whole new regime in there, and they are lukewarm to the program, and they've been keeping it going, but it's kind of been dwindling, and they've cut hours, and they've cut buses. So I'm not, actually we had a few inquiries into the Will County group of people in that area as to, can we, join, or looking at the costs.
Well, I'm just a little concerned again with that, with just the cost.
Oh, yeah, it's
We have
expensive
$50,000, and at what point are we going to cut the cord and say, you know what, do we just continue on? What plan do we have if it comes to a point we have $70,000 and we only have $50,000, $60,000, and we still got 2 months left in a year? Because I also looked at something here about the riders. I don't know where we are as far as the criteria, who's going to ride. I know we talked about just those people who need medicals.
We have medical
Okay.
appointments only, and we allow shopping once a week.
Okay, and I saw some criteria for 13 and under free.
Well,
Is that
that's
with us?
I guess if somebody's a handicapped person and they can't get the 13-year-old might be their companion that's going with them.
Okay.
So that's what that.
So our
is about.
criteria has not changed.
Our criteria has not changed.
Okay.
It's the same. And
Is that
now,
the
the more people that we can get in, and there are other townships that she's talking with, the more people we get in the ridership, the lower the cost is going to be. But at the same time, as I said, I'm a little worried that Frankfurt Township is saying, gee, this is more costly than we thought. They're talking about maybe going back and running their own program again. So that will take us back to the $50, so we're spending $25 a ride, which is about, we were paying about $23 a ride out of Washington Township. So it's not that much more expensive when you think about what we were paying actually.
Okay, just refresh my memory again on this. Who's involved with this other than us? Frankfurt
Frankfurt Township is, we
Monee
are,
Township,
and Will Township
Will,
is.
not Washington,
Washington and Creed are still together.
They're still
right.
together.
But we, and so is, and Peatone's with them.
Peatone.
But we have Will Township is with them. We have Peatone Township, and so Peatone, Frankfurt, and ourselves are so far. She is now, as I said, she's talking to 3 or 4 other townships, trying to bring them in. She's been talking to Homer Township, she's been talking to, I don't remember who else she said, but they are, so they're working diligently to try to, do that and bring costs down. And as I said, now to help with our costs, we're trying to go to the villages and see if we can't negotiate some. I'm not hopeful on that. But the other thing is that I don't think we're ever going to get to the, right now it depends on the ridership. The ridership does grow. And so, the 50,000, I think we're gonna be okay with that this year. But we're gonna be squeaking.
For public service, again, we have to consider all things here. I just think at some point, I know we have to look again at the whole big picture, but to call up the service and to go 3 blocks within the township and to go back 3 blocks to your destination, you're talking about almost $40.
I don't think you're talking too many people that do
Doing
that.
that.
Most people, if they're doing things, they're going
Yeah.
to doctor's appointments that are in Orland Park, or they're going,
But I
different
would
places.
think if that
right.
was the case, we should be able to take advantage. It's like a go, no go of the township or outside of the township. is
But
what
see,
it
now
is.
we bring, like for our parties, we bring all the seniors from Norwood over here. And
Okay.
wherever we have the parties and that, so, yeah, it's an expensive program. It's not something, the other thing is that we do have to realize that we will be okay by 2016. Our building construction will be paid off. So that will put that extra little money in there, so that hopefully we'll be able to, have that extra $10,000.
And I can see, I'm good, with trying to provide the service. What I have a problem with is on the other side, that they are such a stickler with the price. What is driving those prices up on their side? Are these union bus drivers or something that's making me, I don't know, excuse me for saying that, but no, I'm just saying,
It's a
where's the
concierge
expense?
service, you have to realize, we're not a regular bus again, we're a concierge service.
And this is PACE providing the
Yes,
service,
it's
right?
paid, but it's still a concierge service. You have to realize that, you're saying, I'm gonna come pick you up at your house at 2 o'clock, and then they've got people scheduled someplace, hopefully in the same area, and they have actually a computer software program that schedules people.
Yeah.
So if they're nearby, they can schedule people for pickup at 11, pickup at 11:05, pickup at 11:10, but we are so far out here in the rural areas that that's not always possible.
Well,
So then that's, more travel time.
Well, all I'm saying is this, I'm gonna end at this, is just that when the services were provided by Eastern Will County, even though we was only dishing out $10,000 to $20,000 a year, I understand that those costs per riders were like $6, and they were doing actually more, they were taking more riders. We limit the scope of the criteria for the riders. I'm like, what the heck is this?
I
Why
don't
is this so
think
expensive?
they had quite as many riders. We
Okay,
have more
okay.
general riders.
Okay.
They had a lot of specialized riders that were going to some of the schools for disabled.
Okay.
I know we take a few people there, but they had now I think there's actual dedicated buses that are coming out of that school it was over in Manhattan area. And so now I think that school actually does a service and provides their own service when Eastern Wills County went out. So that was a lot of it. That and their bookkeeping wasn't that great. They were kind of, so that's why
Were
they.
cooking books?
I don't know, I don't think they were cookie books, I just
This
think that
wasn't-
they had gotten
wasn't
out of control. They didn't, I don't know, they just weren't doing things
doing
right.
due diligence.
Right. But, anyway, yeah, it's
But just keep an
a
eye on this and
student-needed
continue to
program, and
monitor
that's all we
this.
can do is watch it, and hopefully Frankfurt will not pull out, because then our costs will go back up, so, you know, that's why we're, you know, it was his suggestion that we meet with the villages, and maybe his villages will help him. And let's hope so.
Again, I would still look for an opportunity to see how this cost can come down.
Yeah, well,
You know,
that's
we
the
can
only
voice
way
our
it can,
opinion again.
Yeah. we have these meetings once a month.
Can I hear, board, that all of us are concerned with this? So you could go back and tell that the board feel as if that the cost.
Oh, I told
if
them
there's-
that. I have meetings every 2 months, with Will Pace
Okay.
and Will County people. Every 2 months I'm over there. And I'm telling them, no, we consider this a real too costly program, and we've talked about ways to bring it down. I've talked about trying to get the area aging money that Washington Township has, and Washington Township still has the area aging. And even though they lost us, their area aging got smaller, but then the problem comes is this, just like all agencies asking for money, they had funds coming from Washington, that pot was cut. So now they've got less money to divide. So right now, all that money from Washington Township, if Washington Township does falter, then there'll be an opportunity for us maybe to pick that up. So that might help a little bit with the funding on that. But yeah, they know very much that we are very concerned about the costs and that it's more expensive than we had thought it was. And that, you know, we really need to bring it. And so they tried to discuss it, and hopefully the cost of fuel going down will help. Because that's one of the major costs for a busing company, and is fuel costs. So hopefully with the price of the fuel going down, that'll maybe the next few months we'll see, you know, little by little we'll see. Because we are just paying for September. This bill that we'll approve later is a September bill. So we haven't seen with the gas prices going down in November and December what's great.
So our fiscal budget ends the March
March
30th,
31st.
right? March 31st.
Right.
We have less than half of our budget left, or
Yeah.
less than half.
And we've got about, what, this is September, so we've got October, November, December, January, February, March. We got 6 months left, so that's half. And if our costs have come down from the last few months, then hopefully that'll be good. Because we've been running close to $5,000 the last 2 or 3 months. And this bill, I think, was 40,
We got 20,000 in our
this
contingencies.
bill was 41,000 compared to about 49,000
Yeah.
the last couple times, so that's been.
Not
Oh.
4,900.
4,900, sorry, did I say thousand?
Yeah, it's like, there goes our budget.
We just failed the budget, right?
Contingencies.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve this intergovernmental agreement, please? Moved by Marie, second by Terry. Any further discussion? Roll call vote then?
Trustee Bowles?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Burgess?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Devlin?
Yes. Okay, we have a couple line item transfers. We have our training budget that we went over. So we need to take money out of 5195 contingencies and put 1,500 in 5060, the training budget, so that we can not have a minus number there. Is there a motion to do so, please? Moved by Debbie,
Second.
second by Marie. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bowles?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Burgess?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Devlin?
Yes. We have road district budget transfer from 5,500 road maintenance, $300 to 5,530 small tools. Is there a motion, please? Moved by Debbie,
Second.
second by Terry. Roll call vote.
Trustee Bowles?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Burgess?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Devlin?
Yes. assessor's budget is over by 5,000 something in computer equipment. She bought another set of computer. I'm not certain why, because she's already bought a couple of computers this year. So she's gone over her computer budget. We've asked her and sent her, called her and I sent her notes on sending in a line item transfer, and she did not do so. So I guess I'll have to wait till next month, but I hate to have that
Did she
happen.
say what's happening with the old computers?
I need to ask that question because the old computers are property, and she's got 3 or 4 new ones, and the computers that we've got here are barely working. I mean, they are so slow and so old. So if she's got new computers and replaced all of hers that she has, then we can recycle those other computers back over here, because they are township property. So I don't know, but I think we'll have to write her a note and ask him on that, so. We'll have to wait till next month, I guess, to get that changed, since we thought maybe since she didn't reply, she'd come to the meeting tonight, but she's not here either, so.
And what line item broken, it was 5220?
Yeah, it's under 5,000, over, she's got 50-some thousand dollars, that's out of state. 5,000.
Are these desktops or laptops computers?
I'm not certain, I think these are
It's about a
desks.
server. I think it was a server.
Let's see, here's, I tell you what, this is what it was for, because I was looking at it today. And it was $5,000 for the computers, which is kind of expensive. Here it is, to Dell Business Credit for a Dell PC monitor, $172. Dell Power Edge T320 IB system server and installation, $5,066.
I'm trying to see where can that money be recouped back here.
Well, she can take it out of her insurance. She's got an
Okay.
insurance line that's got 5,000 on there that she won't be using, so.
Okay.
She's got places to take it out of, but that's really running a lot over a budget line. And,
Okay, the health insurance, why is nothing being paid on that?
because we pay health insurance for employees, and it was only would have been taken if Rebecca had health insurance when she's part-time, so she doesn't have health insurance. That was just in there in case, for some reason, I don't know why she had it in there.
And that covers
That
it
was
right
just,
there.
that was just probably,
5,600 and
yeah.
5,200.
I'm sure that was in there just so that she had some space.
Okay.
So there is money to move it from. I'm just saying, we need to pay the bill. To pay the bill, we probably need to transfer the funds. So I actually probably we should transfer
Is
for
that typically
her.
something we do? then?
Yeah, something we probably should do for her, because we do need to correct that line item so that, or we can't pay the bill legally because it's minus $5,000. So, I mean,
I don't know, I wasn't.
Where's that bill on this?
it's on the, it's 520129 is what she's short. So I would transfer 5,300 from, and I don't like to do it, but since we've asked her several times.
Well, Donna, wait.
I just don't want to get into no debating.
The procedure is that she would submit
A line item.
Line item transfer
There you
fund,
go.
that's
So
right.
you've asked her for it, she
Yes.
knows
Did
it
you
needs
ask
to be
her?
done.
You
I
asked
don't
her.
see that,
Oh, yes. Did we ask her and then fax her too?
I faxed it over, I faxed it to her, then I sent a sheet by Keith.
Yeah,
Okay,
he came by and
she
we
brought-
sent her a sheet.
well, she knows it needs to be done, so.
Twice, right.
Now,
So ask the question to David. David, if this was you that had to have a line, was over in one of your line items, and you did not get the line item transfer, you did not make the meeting, do you have a problem with us transferring the money out of one of your line items?
no, but David has not been a subject of constant.
No, I'm just trying to.
Constant discussion about how to
I
take
know,
care of
but I'm just saying, just from
I'm heading your department. This, I had nothing to do. I'm just, it's just from heading your department, that's all. I just want to do
Well,
the right
the
thing.
problem comes is that this bill, by law, we're not supposed to pay bills late.
Okay.
And,
That's the
isn't
driver.
that it? We're supposed to pay it
That's the
within.
driver. I just don't want to.
And this bill was submitted as of, you know, so if we need to take that responsibility so that we are within December, payment is due by December 28th. And we have to pay, right.
If it's legal, well, we can do it, what we can do. I just want to follow the law and make sure we're doing the right thing.
No, yes, unless you have a defense or contested claim, you're supposed to pay it.
Okay.
All right, then what I'm suggesting is that we transfer from line item 5030, health insurance, $5,300 to 5220, computer equipment purchase. So it will cover the shortage of 520129.
How difficult will it be for us to get one of these and sign it today?
Can you get us a sheet, make it up, and I'll sign it?
No, she
No.
can do whatever, and she
You
can,
have the bill?
Yes, I've got the bill, right?
and she
Look
can
at it.
sign for
No, no,
the
no.
assessor. That way we can cover it,
Go ahead.
we get it. And then it'll be under the assessor, well, too.
Will you do for the 5,300, if you don't do it for the 5,201?
I could, but, you know,
Just put a little bit more in
it
there.
gives her an extra, what, $198, you know, so in case she has to buy a computer ribbon or something, I don't know.
Computer ribbon.
And again, this is just a budget, you know, it's not gonna be precisely dollar for dollar. It's just a snapshot at any given time, what things appear to be and what we're looking to pay for.
No, we
So-
can transfer 10% of the budget.
Okay.
That's law.
Okay.
Do transfers within, if you go beyond that, you have to have a budget hearing again. You have to have a post-it for 30 days, have a budget hearing, and then, you know, make changes, have to revise budget, that's how it works.
Smile, everyone. This is Christmas, so tense in here. My goodness. Everybody else is at home sleeping. Their board meetings are left. Their board meetings. Smile. Relax.
Okay. All righty, we will do that. Well, let's just briefly move into old business, and while we're waiting for that. Old business, the University Park Lions football, we did give them $1,600, and they gave it back because the tournament was in St. Louis, and the tournament people canceled the tournament because of all the unrest with Henderson and St. Louis. So we gave them the check, and then they returned it to us.
Did we get interest on it?
So, but that was nice that they, you know, they.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, the next thing is, I've made all the corrections on the Monee Township handbook, and that we've discussed. So you have a clean copy that I redid, and it shows all our changes made. So this is one last time that we can look at it and, you know, make sure that it's everything that we've said. I hope you had a chance to do so.
Looks good. It's a nice job.
Thank you. That's my legacy to the
That's your
township, by the way.
legacy.
I've been saying I'm gonna do this when the first time I was supervisor and then in this last 6 years. So, you know, and then when I saw Chris Cochran at that dinner we went to, she said, oh, that'll be your legacy. And I'm like, you're right, that'll be my legacy.
I would.
Okay, 50-30 to 52-20. We have this now, and I will sign this. We'll go back up there. All right, we have it. It's from 50-30, which is the health insurance, 5,300, which is line 5220, computer equipment purchase, so that we can pay the bill legally. And I have signed that, and we'll give it back to Willa so that she can send a copy then to Sandra, that it was done. And and I'm going to say they're by board approval.
We have to vote.
Yes, we need to vote, well, we haven't voted on the transfer yet. Okay, I need a motion to approve this line item transfer.
So moved.
Moved by Maurice, second. By Terry, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bowles,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Burgess,
Yes.
trustee Young,
Yes.
supervisor Devlin.
Yes, all right, I'm gonna put this sideways in here so that, okay. All right. Okay, back to the employee handbook.
Can I just take a look at that just to make sure?
He doesn't trust me.
No, it's not that.
Still like to know what's going on with your computers.
Yes,
Well,
I will,
Roll call.
get a note sent over to her, ask her.
Question there. I know Sandra's budget is under the general township, but usually is it typically assessor?
Yeah.
Is it usually assessor?
Yeah, we see, but she's got it, she's got it marked, see, general town
Okay.
assessors is marked.
Okay, so, okay, not at the top, not,
No.
that's not,
Because-
okay, that's all I was
See,
asking. I know
assessor-
David is, but I know.
The assessor's budget
It's
is
on
under
top.
our budget.
That's all, I just made sure.
Which she
No
hates,
problem.
Okay,
as you know well.
I know.
Many, many discussions.
thank you. No, it just kind of stuck out because David has his right there.
David has is a
Right,
different,
yes.
separate thing.
He's a special
David,
guy.
once we pass his budget,
With a new truck.
Oh,
actually, once we pass David's budget, he could never speak to us again in his entire
But he
life.
would
Yeah, I know why.
not David. You know he loves to speak them all.
But, right, but he's a nice commissioner, so he's good. All right, everybody get a chance to look at the employee handbook, so you think it's good? Should we go ahead and try to get this passed? I did it as an action item so we could.
So it would be printed like this?
Well, we
Or would it
will,
be like-
what she will do is, once we have passed it, then have no more changes, then she will go in and pretty it up as to, if I haven't quite got things completely lined up right, she will kind of do that.
Will we put our emblem on here somehow?
No, yeah,
We don't put
we
it
don't
on
have
here?
it.
I mean, we do
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, no, that, we'll have our cover sheet. will
and
be
we will
going
put some
on.
type of date here. that-
Yes, it'll be dated as of passed by,
Okay.
such and such a date,
Yes.
dated, we'll date it. And then it will be on the logo, we'll have a logo on there, okay. All right, is there a motion, please? Moved by Debbie, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Maurice. Roll call vote.
I'm sorry. I got distracted.
Now I can die tomorrow when they'll be happy.
We'll move.
Employees don't have phone numbers.
Moved by Debbie, seconded by Maurice.
Approval of the handbook.
To approve the Monee Township Employee Handbook, yes. As of today's date, which is,
Trustee Bowles,
yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Burgess,
Yes.
trustee Young,
Yes.
supervisor Devlin.
Yes. Yay. Okay. Wheel ride program, this is their payment. We just kind of pretty much discussed their wheel ride, but we do owe them for the month of September, our 50% of their, the total, which is $4,184.77. Is there a motion to please pay the bill?
So moved.
Moved by Terry.
Second.
Second by Debbie. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bowles? Trustee Bowles? Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Burgess?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Devlin.
Yes. Have anybody heard anything from the Illinois Flames Track Club? How are they working with their, what is it, we're having that free?
5136.
What they were doing was trying to get reinstated the natural profit.
Right, not-for-profit radio station.
them and see if they can give us an update next month.
Okay. I mean, I know that, you know, it's for the next year, so that
Sure.
they're probably fine with it. I
But
just,
still,
you know, that's why I kept it on here, because I want us to not forget about it too, so. Okay, let's go into project reports. We have a lot of things to talk about in the youth report. Maurice did get talk with GSU, and he sent over the agreement, which is on the table. I looked through it, and it's pretty much the same thing. The only difference is that they have changed the name of their facility from recreation to athletic and recreation center is what it's called now. There are some dates we have to discuss, because there's some dates we'll have to take out of here. April 5th is Easter Sunday, so we have to take that out. May 10th is Mother's Day. We don't ever do anything on Mother's Day.
I just told him, give me anything he can give me.
And the 24th is Memorial Day weekend. So we can't do it Memorial Day weekend.
We can go, if you want, we can go even further in the summer, he said too.
Well,
So
we really don't
we
want
took a
to,
big
because
stop
just-
in Memorial.
we have volunteers that have to rest. But actually, so we're talking February 22nd, March 1st, 8th, 15th, 22nd. Now, the 29th is Palm Sunday, but does anybody have a problem with that?
I do.
You have a problem with Palm
I
Sunday?
mean, which one we talking about?
We're talking about the new agreement that was put on the table, it's a one page, and
One was this,
it's on the table. There's one marked spring 2014, that's the
Okay,
old
that's
one.
the old one.
Right.
But I kind of know what it is. I sent it out.
So go back to the dates again?
If they're on there, we're taking out the April 5th,
Right,
April 10th, May 10th,
right.
and May 24th,
Right.
because those are holidays, or, well, special days. And then, but the 29th I have questioning in March, because that is Palm Sunday, and I didn't know what people felt about that.
I got a problem with it, so if y'all approve March 29th, I won't be there.
Yeah, let's go with the 29th, because we really dissected this. We
Okay.
started on the 22nd of February, so.
As long as you be there, because of the
Yeah.
dates, yeah, okay, so we'll go with the, keep the 29th, so that'll be okay. All right. Rate is still $55 an hour, which is good. And it says payment is due upon invoice date. Now, we have not got an invoice, we keep paying them. We paid them for the spring session, and they have not cashed the check. Did you get a chance to talk to them about that?
No, that's let me.
Okay.
talk to
I
you.
did email him.
Right, we
Yeah.
emailed them and said, please.
Well, I'll see
I
that.
emailed somebody else about that check.
And it says the user is to be invoiced within 30 days of use. Well, you know, as I said, we keep paying, and the reason we keep paying is because we don't want to get behind in our budget
Sure.
and mess everything
I
up.
will speak to,
Okay.
when I go to, I told him I'll bring him the contract possibly
All right.
Saturday or Friday, and I will make it a point to address that issue.
Now, what we noticed is that addendum sheet that was always put with it, this one here was not attached,
Mhm.
the one that shows you the services that
Okay,
they
it was not
provide.
attached to the one, you know, that's.
I mean,
that
it
was kinda
doesn't
weird.
have to be signed, it's just,
Okay.
that's what's always attached.
Give me that, if we, tonight, or you can.
You got it, you've got that old copy, it's on, what's on the table, did you have this,
No.
the old agreement?
No,
I'll take mine,
okay.
I've got an extra.
okay, all right.
Yeah, that's what he sent back to me, I told him, look at what we
Right.
already sent him.
And so then, we would actually, let's change the dates on it and then just email it to him.
Yeah,
Because this
that
lists
way.
the
Can we do
dates.
that?
Email.
Okay.
Right,
Mhm.
does this,
Email everything to you?
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
this lists the dates
He's
here.
gotta sign it.
We have to,
When he has to sign.
the sign
Ah,
one,
yeah, you have
what
to
do you have
sign
to
it,
do?
yeah.
This is the
If we
sign one.
want,
I can give you that tonight if you, once
okay,
you
give me a
guys vote
portion
on
to
it.
sign, I'll get it to him to sign.
All right, if
and
you
I'll
vote
bring
on
it
it.
back.
But I could change the dates, this part of it, just
Right.
email this
If-
portion to you.
Okay,
Let me
so
just
I
do
can
that.
attach it. and
Right,
get-
yeah.
Yes, do that.
Okay, okay.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the new contract with the dates that we decided on? So moved.
Second.
Okay. 12, 18, 14.
They are 20, the men's basketball team is 22 and old.
They're what's 20?
The male, the boy, the men.
The age?
The men
The men basketball team is 22-0.
Where?
22 in Governor State.
Oh, Governor State.
Yes.
Sorry,
This
James,
says-
you
yeah,
have,
Yeah, this says that they're gonna provide the lifeguard.
yes,
I did emphatically ask that question.
and they will have a lifeguard
Yes.
for sure. Yeah, because I read that, the first thing I read.
That's, I know.
was the same.
I asked him that.
Right, right.
Mhm.
So they will have that, that's good.
Mhm. And we can use all the facilities.
Will
We got a
anyone
motion on
want
the floor.
to make a copy of this signed agreement so
On
that
that
we can
paper?
give,
Can we do it on the other page?
So we got a
yeah,
motion.
whatever you need to do to give that, yeah, we need a motion to
I
approve
think
this,
we got-
please.
We got a motion and a second.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
now we need a roll call vote.
Can I still, just a couple comments?
Sure, but, yeah.
Before we vote. This is gonna be a challenge after this season to continue to use their facilities. Facilities are getting absorbed big time, you know, because of the expansion of the two-year college going to a four-year college. And that's why we are having this challenge right now. So he said he just wanna give me a heads up, so we're just gonna need to be talking about this.
Now, how are we gonna handle the students that come in during our session?
They can't,
They can't.
because this is
As
our
a matter of
session.
fact, it's only said Monee Township.
Right, I mean, but is he communicating any of this?
I would hope so. I'll share that tomorrow
All right.
with him, because this is still a township activity. And only how we script our contract, that's how it should be played out. And he did offer, he said if anyone wants to come in and see his basketball team play this Saturday at 3 o'clock, let him know, and we, because it's paid admission, you know, but he will let us in as a group. So,
Don't think so.
I'm sorry.
Christmas season.
Come
I'm
on.
sorry.
Would you like to go?
I got
At
the
3 o'clock?
I
From your tongues? Okay.
got a prior engagement.
Okay, I did too, but when he made the conference out. And meet their coach, I got a chance to meet their coach and the players.
Okay. Do we need a roll call vote yet?
We need the roll call. We need a roll call.
Trustee Bowles,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Burgess,
Yes.
trustee Young,
Yes.
supervisor Daniel.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, good job. Good job. Oh, by the way, have you cashed your paycheck from last September?
That's personal.
Well.
It'll be okay.
You're messing up my record, keep finding. All right, now let's go into the National Youth Program utilizing mini bikes.
Outstanding.
James, you can have the floor right now.
Good. Since the last board meeting, I had an opportunity to sit down with our supervisor and Tracy Duckworth, the director of the library. And we briefly discussed the mini bike program. We did reach several decisions in terms of Monee Township not being the lead agency in this. We're going to meet again January 18th. At that time, I'm hoping that we will have other players involved. Last Tuesday, I met with Superintendent Cunningham of the Creek Monee School District. He is very interested. And I'm quite sure we're going to have school district representative at the next meeting. I have not heard back from Mayor Farquhar in Monee, but my intentions is to, since school is going to be out at 1:10 tomorrow for 2 weeks, I have more time to try to establish contact with Mayor Farquhar. I have not been able to reach Reverend Williams in First Baptist Church in University Park yet, but I'm going to follow up on that also. I do have a couple of referrals in terms of the land, so I'll be following up on that to make sure that it can possibly be used as a riding site for the kids in the mini bike program. I'm in the process now of formulating a plan. I'll have 2 weeks off to do that. I mean, the past week has just been so busy, but progress is being made. What else can I say?
I'm talking about the Toro stuff.
Okay, I'll let you talk about that. there was something else. Tomorrow is my deadline to talk to Ken Hutchison about the expense and storage of the mini bikes. However, he has not answered the last two emails that I sent him in regards to the insurance and the issue surrounding the liability coverage on the mini bikes and the helmet and children riding. So I wanted him to clarify those issues, but he has not responded to my email. So I've got his cell phone number. I'm gonna call him. Tomorrow's the deadline anyway that we're supposed to talk. And oh yeah, Ms. Keller sent me her resume. I saw it on my email the day before yesterday. I just need to forward it over to. I have it ready and send it to you before our meeting in January 18th. What else? Now I think that's about it.
It's a resume for,
Her resume indicating her years of experience and how long she's been involved in
in this.
the NEMA program. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
First thing, you said January 18th, I'm showing the 13th. is
The
the
January, is that the date?
date. Right, 13th,
Okay,
because
all right,
18th I'm not in town.
Okay, cool. Maybe
So
that's what it was.
That was 13th, that's the date I've got.
I got it on my calendar. I was just taking it off the
Tuesday,
top.
1/13.
Okay. I know
The
it's
18th
January.
is gone, so I'm not even in town.
Tuesday's the 13th.
Tuesday, the 13th,
Tuesday's the 13th, right?
because we have a
So
meeting.
18th is Sunday.
Our meeting is the 15th. We have an early meeting because the first falls on a Thursday. So we
so
have
we
the
can catch it
15th is our board meeting, and I'm in town for that. so.
Oh, yeah, we're still projecting a rollout date. I'm still projecting that.
We had a certificate of insurance that we don't know is still valid with Thornwood, Thornwood Township. And so what I did with this is that I called Torma and kind of explained what the program was and what type of insurance that they had, and wanted to know if that could be covered through our policy. And they were kind of like, oh my God. That could be, that could be a problem. And I'm like, well, so they had me send them all the information like you've got in your packet. And so I sent them all that information about what the program was about so they could look at it. Also sent them information because we've been also talking about, our land that's over in University Park behind Thornwood House. We pulled the plat on that and it's 3.7 acres is what it is. And so we're talking about maybe that's if we can't find any place else, that's a possibility that we could use that land. But I don't know that for sure because we'd have to be covered by TOMRA. So that's a question I've asked them on that also. If we let them use our land and, would that be covered also? So they're gonna get back to me on that. Then also, I talked with David because the question is if we do use our land and property, then James had asked, would it possible that David maybe do just the mowing of that land? And I don't know how much mowing you're talking, regular mowing or mowing paths, or I couldn't.
No, David, I'm talking about just mowing it down flat.
The whole thing.
Yeah, and maybe some dirt mounds, if necessary.
I'll have to look at it.
Okay, cool. And then, of course, Ms. Keller would, offer her suggestion too, if the insurance can cover that.
Okay.
I would think just on a somewhat of a professional.
Because these are dirt bikes.
Well, I would think that if we're gonna involve ourselves with this and possibly use our land as a course, that we somehow, David, I'm not slighting you in any manner as far as lacking your technical ability.
That's right.
But I would think, cutting the grass and all that, that's your forte. But to put a course.
That's right.
Bounds, I think it needs to be someone.
That would be-
A professional person, so, yeah, David can just throw, but I think for liability's sake. that-
Yep, I mean, I just,
Yeah,
that's not my expertise.
right.
Building dirt mounds and building how you want them and all that stuff.
Well, it
Right.
may not even be necessary.
But I'm just saying, and I
You
think that's possible, you gotta, if we're gonna vote on this, we probably have to have someone that kind of lay it out, a course. And,
Okay.
kids flying over dirt hills and all of that, I think it should, specify heights and all that.
So Tara's supposed to get back to me on all that, and, whether they even, cover us at all. And because I was asking, as a contingency, I said, this is something we're discussing, and, I'm not, as part of ours, if we're not being lead agency, that, you know, maybe as our portion that we donate $5,000 a year plus maybe cover the insurance. But, and then I was asking them also, how much extra would it be if we did, you know, cover that program? So they're supposed to get back to us on that. I'm hoping that, you know, this can be resolved with enough so that, as, you know, you had your April date. I'm not certain that we might be able to do it all by then, but
I'm not-
we're
I'm not-
working on it.
Yeah, I'm not, you know what, the only reason I looked at April is because that's right around spring break.
Yeah,
And that would be an ideal opportunity for referrals. And then University Park is unveiling the summer reading program. So it ties in the literacy piece to
they're
this
gonna
also.
try, and they're also, already, what you didn't mention is that the storage right now is $157 a month for the storage of the mini bike program. The University Park Library said that they could underwrite that cost temporarily, or until that was decided, so that they wouldn't lose the motorbikes.
Yeah, and the only reason I didn't mention is because I haven't talked with Mr. Hutchinson yet. And then the board doesn't meet until after the first of the year. We don't meet during the month of
Now,
December.
who maintains the bikes?
Right now, it's being maintained by NEPA.
But once we get them,
Yeah, be
Well,
our
they,
responsibility.
well, see, that's it. Well, and that's something I can talk to Mr. Hutchinson about, because if we assume the bill, then we're gonna be responsible for the bikes.
so that's something we probably need to understand the scope of
All right,
maintenance.
see, that's why I said we
Yeah.
could not be the lead agency,
Yeah.
because they're responsible for overall quality of the program, liaison to the NCC, recruit other youth service agencies, provide riding site shortage of bikes, maintain bikes and ensure availability of supplies, parts, gasoline, tools, supervise staff and activities. That's a huge program. I mean,
And James has done a great job trying to make this happen.
See, that's why I knew the Monee Township was not gonna be involved in that aspect of it, but I didn't. It hasn't been totally agreed who's going to be the
right.
lead agency, and it's still,
If
you
we
know.
get
yeah.
one, you know, that's. you
Well,
know.
we're gonna have a lead agency.
Hopefully, we-
Now, just a heads up, and this is supposed to come to fruition. Just a heads up, I heard that this is gonna happen. Do you recall, maybe a year ago, we were looking at to possibly host with that same piece of parcel, but it wasn't big enough, that sports complex. I brought the young lady in,
Yeah.
she talked about it.
and there wasn't enough room for her.
No,
It's
she
like
wanted 30 acres.
30
acres, so I went and had a big meeting with University Park and all some dignitaries. I invited the mayor, Monee at that time, I think it was Togo, and some other people, and Crete. So we had this big meeting, and then University Parks, let's grab it. They thought about the site, old drive-in site, around 50 over there, and somehow it fell by the wayside. Now, and then the young lady took it to Chicago, and it was supposed to happen in Chicago, but I heard it's pretty much a done deal in Matson, across from the Menards. Since Lincoln Mall is pretty much going away, at least as we know it, the first of the year, I heard it's a done deal. So, and they were. That Forest, it's not Forest Reserve, it's wooded there.
Yeah,
This is
there's a
right.
gate, there's a gate there that says property of Lansing, I think, isn't it?
I think so, it is a
There's a
sign.
gate. There's a gate
Yeah.
there,
Kind of swampy.
So, it's right across from Menards, around
Back
50.
up in there.
Here's
Yes,
this
and it's a
completed
big
signed
sports
agreement.
complex that's gonna do bike, dirt bikes and all that stuff too, so I'm just, giving that heads up.
Do
Okay.
not lose
The
this,
reason I
that's signed
came up with the
agreement,
idea
it has
about
all the
these-
dates changed on it,
Okay.
The
and
dirt
you've got
mountain.
copies made for us, right? Why don't make copies, not with my
That's it, but you
signature?
You look at
Signed.
the website,
Oh, you gave me.
Yeah,
I
look at the
did.
website,
let her have it
It
back,
shows
and make
all
copies so that we can have
uphill,
my
downhill,
signature
you know,
signed.
around, so I know it's just not good, so.
Well, it's a special paper.
But actually,
Oh,
cutting down all that grass is
I'll take a
going.
look at this, see what this,
Yeah.
if it's a matter of grass, no big deal.
Yeah.
If there's trees in there, like I think there is, and hopefully there's no big hunks of concrete.
It might be, yeah, hopefully, but we don't know, because the center was there, so I'm not certain what
How did we
shape
get
it's in.
that parcel when it's, isn't that in the limits of the village of University
It
Park?
is. We bought the parcel in 2000, and we paid $25,000 for it, because that's where we were putting our new township building. And then when we were voted out of office, the group that came in after us spent, and it was we had plans. I have, in fact, I brought them in the other day, I found them when I was cleaning out closets. I have plans for the new building if you want to see them. And it was gonna cost us $500,000 to construct brand new buildings.
Spend
That have room
$400,000
for,
per month.
it have room for the township, had room for the assessor's office. David's group, the highway department was gonna stay here and take this building. So we would have a presence in Monee, we'd have a presence in University Park. And then the new board came in and they took all the money that I had saved, which was about $300,000 of that $500,000, and they spent it on renovating this building for $500,000, the cost of a new building, and they didn't even put in a kitchen. So it wasn't very cost effective.
Oops.
Yeah. So that's what we'll be paying off as of 2016. And someplace it's really very hard to operate when we have to go to the bathroom and wash glasses and stuff.
Oh.
It's very hard. It was
We're
very
gonna take a look
short-sighted
at
on
that.
them.
Don and I gonna take a look at their property markets next week. Maurice, Don and I gonna take a look at their property next week.
Next week.
Yeah, next week. You sure? You take out your calendar, make an
I
appointment.
said, if I'm
Hold you committed to it right now.
But I was just gonna tell you, right now, Maurice, that I am just contemplating, right now, we've got $10,000 in the youth project, and this would be kind of still falling under youth. What I was planning on trying to do in the new budget is put an extra $5,000 in there. So just in case that is our only contribution to the program, we would have it budgeted
for that.
for that. So I'm just gonna add that, so it'd probably be a $15,000 budget line of, or maybe I'll make it 12, because I was thinking basically for GSU, are only using about 6,000, 7,000. So I was thinking of raising it to 12,000 actually, so then that would give you 5,000 for this program. But I just wanted to run that by you, or you
I'm good with that.
All right.
Yes,
Okay.
I'd like to share the wealth with my
Okay.
best friend.
But that's my plans for when we come in the budget. We'll probably come in February. We usually come in with the budget figures and show you what we've done for the last 5 years of workshops and everything, so.
Okay, great.
Okay, well, I think I lost my agenda. All right,
You know, there
we'll
was a-
keep on working on that. We'll need to go through that land, and then that'll be good.
I'll call you.
Okay, all righty. Let's go into the trustee audit of accounts.
We're skipping Going Green, but
Oh, going green, is
Do you
there
have
anything?
Monee monitor the latest? There's a good article in there about going green from Will County.
The one today?
The latest one.
The one today?
that's the latest I've seen. No, I had to see that one the week prior. The next to the latest. Like, it is Thursday. Okay, so just basically you document out or take a minute for Going Green that I will get with Willa on an article regarding Going Green from Will County.
Okay.
And we can implement some of those things.
From last Thursday.
From last Thursday, Monee Monitor paper.
Okay. Let's go into the trustee audit of accounts for the period of November 21st, 2014 to December 18th, 2014. Grand total of $102,713.23. Is there a motion to approve this? Debbie, second? Do I have that original sheet here? Willa? I'm not seeing the original sheet. Hiding it on me, no wonder. All right, let's start it down here. All right, I got a moved by Debbie and second by Maurice, was it? Who
No.
seconded? Anybody second?
But I will.
Okay, seconded by Maurice. Deciding this, is there a roll call vote
Now,
on
I got a
this?
question, Don.
Oh, you have a question?
Yeah, look at page 5. The next to the last item,
Right, that's something that's a monthly basis.
I understand that, but $897.76 for Sandra Hurd mileage in October.
She put in for October and November. It's a mileage for 2 months.
That's mileage for 2 months.
Yeah, you can't see it and cut it off, but that was, I believe, for October and November. She was going back and forth, and she has written down on her list, because I looked at that because it was such a large amount. Specifically, she wrote down that it was a lot of mileage back and forth to Joliet, going to appeals and things like that.
2 months.
But I did look at that because I was like, wow, that's a lot. But that is 2 months, so that's pretty much,
That's
going to.
440, that's a lot of mileage.
Yeah, 506 miles on one, and the other one is 391. But you figure that 71 miles, which is what it is back and forth, to Joliet.
71 miles.
And,
I think she had.
and then of course that's miscellaneous trips to, the office, to the post office, but most of it is going to that.
Is it, how many?
I think it's like 56 cents, isn't it? That's the rate?
56 cents now,
A
yes.
mile.
And it's what we'll have a new vote in January on the mileage, is what the state recommends, so. But that is a lot of miles, but that's what, we keep saying that, the cost, we pay a lot, but then that covers not only your mileage, but that covers your maintenance, it covers your insurance, and all the things that, she's complained about, but it covers all that, and quite grandly, actually, so, but that is what it is. Anything else, James, on that?
No.
Okay. All right, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bowles,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Burgess,
Yes.
trustee Young,
Yes,
supervisor Evans.
Yes. Okay, have any board comments?
I just have one comment. It was kind of in the 11th hour, but I will be giving out some food baskets at CSK, Coretta Scott King in University Park, from some families, from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock on Saturday. I'm yet to get some flyers out, so I gotta do this tomorrow, additional to Monee Township. So, I met with Target. Target became a business manager, or business partner with me. So it was very, very, very helpful. So I'll spread the wealth in Monee and University Park, and maybe slip over to the Park Forest too tomorrow. And so I'll be there, whatever I have.
You're ready again, huh?
So you can make it up. If you know
What's your
anybody,
time frame?
from 9 to 3, and
On
then
Saturday?
maybe from 2:30, because I want to go see the basketball
9
game.
to 2:30.
On Saturday?
On Saturday,
Fred's got meeting school.
I have about 25 turkeys, and I'm gonna get some more. And also Dr. Hall, she has her nonprofit
Yeah.
program going on too. So I'll be on one side, she'll be on the other side.
Okay.
So my side probably be dull and dingy and all of that, because she's very, very festive with hers. So just spread the word.
Yes,
If any families that you know, give me a call.
That's great, because we've got some people that have called after it was too late for us to
Let me
sign
know.
up, and I don't know who they were.
I don't know who they were.
Right, but if anybody calls again, we'll.
So I'll spread some flyers out. If I see I need to get some more turkeys
Did you
myself, I'll-
pass any of the flyers to the schools?
Yes,
No.
done it.
I haven't done it, no.
The
No,
problem-
but the kid did, so that's on the website. So
Okay.
I'll just piggyback off her if need be.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's just one of those things. I said, well, let me just see what else to do. Mhm. Yeah, it's a basket.
You probably will find a lot of,
I tried to go to the northern end.
right.
So it's more the turkeys, it's, a few things that this young lady from Target, she was just tremendous. I'm like, I can't believe how accommodating and helpful she was. And we made even partnership with her in some capacity. Target, I'm going to Walmart, I'm going to some other places, so they can even help our youth committee. So she said she'd be more than happy to come and support the township as well as the school district. I think this is awesome.
Okay, thanks. Anybody else? I just want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a good holiday, Hanukkah. And these are my present to you, are the candy canes on the desk. And I've got one for Willa and for David and for Dorothy. You all get a candy cane. Everybody have a safe holiday.
Thank you, you guys too. And, family is more important than anything.
Yes, it is.
I just gotta learn.
All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
By Marie, second by Terry, roll call, please.
Trustee Bowles?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Burgess? Trustee Young?
Yes.
Who was that?
Whatever, I'm trying to, whenever you get it.
Can I check over? On the next day.
Okay.
Oh, we got one here?
Guys, I forgot. Please cash these checks.
Oh, I did find the one that about 3 years ago.
Put down your way and
Temple cash.
good thing I looked at these checks because I'm like.
I'm gonna call his wife.
You're not the ones we're worried about. It's that Maurice guy. Seems that
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, hey, Maurice.
That's the best thing somebody can say. What you said, you don't know about. Everybody know about. That's good.